further than that, they spending like the bike shop I went to, that was a bike shop, not just like Walmart. That shit, some of them bitches, them niggas was like, yeah, some of these bitches get $2,000.
$2,000 for a bike? That's a lot of money, but
so it's a hobby.
It's people invest a lot of money into their hobbies, and who am I to judge for what you invest? Yeah. Especially if you're taking care of yourself too. Because if you got $2,000 to spend on the bike, you definitely are doing well for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Or just pretty good with money.
I mean, but if you're pretty good with money, you're doing well for yourself. I'm just saying, like, not every nigga has $2,000 to pay an emergency cost, let alone, nigga, I'm gonna go spend it on a goddamn Pendleton or Peloton, whatever that shit is. Have you seen those though? The Peloton bikes that are like in your house, so you don't have to ride it outside. It's like a cult. Like everybody thinks of that shit. But either way, this is the Bullshitting for Your Health podcast, episode 535, not 5. Holy shit! It's me and Devonte on a beautiful Saturday morning, May 30th.
30th tomorrow.
The year is flying by. We're already halfway through 2020. It has been a crazy journey. I'm glad you guys are experiencing it with us. If I sound a little muffled, it's because I am actually wearing a surgical mask right now because I have a little bit of a story to tell. So, you know, the Wawa that lives near us, they have a sign outside their door that literally says you cannot come in if you're not wearing a mask. Governor Northam put in that order, and I don't know, I felt a little ridiculous. I don't know, how do you feel? Because have you been out since? Because everyone's wearing masks. Like, you look strange if you're not wearing a mask right
now. Where did you get your mask?
It's like we're in Beijing, China. Well, there's a corner store up the street, and I've been in there a couple times to get Gatorade after I ran, and I peeped that they were selling actual surgical masks, not just the cloth mask. So I was like, yeah, let me do that. Because, for one, I'm not going to be reusing masks. Like, I feel like I don't know, it just seems a little...
It's like you can wash them.
Unsanitary. That's the word.
That's why people get the cloth ones you can wash.
No, what I'm saying, I'd rather just throw the mask away. And
how much did you pay for yours?
This was 3 for $5, so it's definitely a fucking ripoff.
But yeah. 7-Eleven has a disposable ones for $100.
I think that's also a ripoff. But what I would say is, like, I'm waiting for a time where it can be mass produced, because either way, like, I want to say mass produced, like the price gouging when you can buy it off like Amazon and shit is gone. But either way, I probably won't be going out too much. And I'll definitely probably keep one mask on my way home from work to do whatever that day if I need to go get groceries or some shit. But it was just very interesting, bro. Like for some reason I felt stupid. Like walking in, like I felt stupid until everybody else had a mask on inside, and the people who didn't have a mask, like I didn't look at them like, oh, you're flocking the system, or you're some type of unpatriotic, or you're a Trump supporter. I just looked at them as they were just somebody like who has their own opinion, or just like, bro, like it is what it is, you know. And then actually, I also felt pretty stupid because remember how I first gave my opinion of what I thought let me take this fucking mask off.
Yeah, muffles your voice.
Of what I thought the lethality and mortality rate, or not say mortality, but the lethality of this drug, or this virus, like how it was going to affect us, our peer group, 20 healthy young Americans. And the CDC was literally giving the same opinion on the radio this morning about how most people who contract this disease won't have major symptoms. They'll have mild symptoms. I've talked anecdotally with people who've had this disease, peers from nursing school, co-workers, my nigga Vernon, your nigga Vernon, he had coronavirus.
Oh, so
he was quarantined he had to get 2 negative tests prior to coming back, and they wouldn't test him until he had a 2-week quarantine. So that shit was wild. He was gone. He was not furloughed, but he was on not sick leave either. They paid him to be at home for a month.
They paid him?
Yeah, but he said it was tough. He said his symptoms were a little bit more severe than when I say severe, he had difficulty breathing, like when he was exerting himself, like walking upstairs, like a flight of stairs. He said he was out of breath and shit like that. But he's fine now, and that's what the CDC was saying. It's like the majority of people won't experience severe or harsh symptoms, but individuals who are older or in these high at risk groups who have cardiovascular disease, diabetes, this shit can be pretty fatal, you know? So it was just like hearing that and walking in, I was like, bro, like, what the fuck are we doing, dog? Like the time where a citywide mask implementation plan was 2 months ago. Not saying that it wouldn't help now in a sense, because I still am of the belief that we don't know as much as we think we know about this disease, and there's pretty good leanings to say that this disease is going to be seasonal, like the flu. You know what I'm saying? Where you can catch the flu year round. People catch the flu year round, but the mass is catching the flu. Like a bunch of people catching it. Normally happens around the fall, winter. So that's how I feel coronavirus is going to move too, based on what we're seeing, based on the states who've opened up and people have already started swarming and interacting together. It's kind of like, what more?
People are wild.
Yeah, people are wild, but we all take risks with our own health in our own ways. But yeah, so just that. So I was just like, damn. Now I'm gonna keep following the policy, because to get in anywhere now you have to wear the mask, but also too, like, I work in healthcare, so I probably have had it and whatever. Like, I don't fucking know. I would love to get antibody tested and see if we have antibodies to it. But either way,
because she worked at Walgreens, Lord knows people coming there.
But either way, what I want to do is, oh, by the way, this is what I was thinking. I haven't told you this. I've been thinking this for a couple months. Get black masks made, and then get our fucking embroidered on it. Like, I don't know if you've seen, or if you know who Takashi Murakami is, but he is a designer, and he had a mask that he had a design on, and it was like disposable masks, and get those and wear those around. But I also, when we go to Bonnaroo, was thinking about, like, just saying fuck it and throwing like a rack at it and getting like a bunch of those masks, and then we sit outside one of the like venues, like you know how at Firefly you could walk up and it's like you didn't have to be right at the gates, but you were walking, you were sitting on the side where bunches of people were gonna walk by. You know what I'm saying? Set up a table out there, bring some bottles. You know what I'm saying? Get fucked up, just hand out masks. People be like, "Yo, bro, follow the pod." You know, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. I'm skeptical. Like, I was thinking about that when I was talking to Couture. I was like, I'm going to try to get my money back if they implement like they're doing with Disney World and having to wear a fucking mask.
What, at Bonnaroo?
Yeah.
You would refund money because you had to wear a mask? You're not gonna wait. First off, I'm wearing a mask at Bonnaroo. Dead ass. Yeah, I'm wearing a mask when we go out and stand in 40,000 dirty ass motherfuckers who are hippies and haven't fucking washed. Like, and that's not even just, bro, I'm not trying to catch coronavirus. I'm just not trying to catch a goddamn novel virus of just nigga just sweating on me. And for the aesthetic, that's why I'm gonna wear a mask at Bonnaroo. But either way,
that's just mine because I don't fuck with this shit. Bro.
So you're not okay. Pause. So would you refund if they said, "Yo, we're gonna postpone it until 2021"? Would you want a refund or would you keep the ticket?
I'll probably keep the ticket.
So you would keep the ticket if it was gonna be postponed, but if they say wear a mask for your own safety, you're like, fuck that shit. You're not gonna conform.
Hell yeah, bro. Because I don't really like wearing a mask. So like, I'm minimizing as much. I don't really like wearing a mask. I don't really like. So I've been minimizing going out and stuff. And like, in my boss, like for real, bro. If they ask us to go back, so like they talking about, oh, we gonna possibly go back to work. And shoot, I'm telling straight up, man, all my clients saying they want me to still do telephone because I ain't trying to sit in people's houses with no mask. I don't really like wearing it. It'd be hot.
You know when you come work at the hospital, you're going to have to wear a mask, right?
That's a little different, bro.
Yeah.
I'm more motivated. But, like, because I don't really like being, like, I don't want to be, like, regardless, I don't really want to be in people's houses right now. Anyway,
yeah.
Because the people won't clean for real anyway. Mm-hmm. And, like, the one client that I know I'm going to have to see out in public, I already told my boss. I said, bro, we meeting outside. We going to scream at each other.
We're going to scream. You're going to have to take in the food line and be like, yo, can I use this cash register with the plastic thing real quick? Because I got to talk to one of my clients. But can y'all stand
bro,
like that
because he been on the streets, bro. So, like, I feel like my boss going to understand because he been on the streets. He been everywhere. He been in the hospital multiple times.
I mean, at the end of the day, as long as the nigga's not coughing on you, you're not putting your hands on their table, eating their food. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he living, bro. The reason also I want to go in is he living in an assisted living zone too. So I think it's good for me not to even go in there because there's people in there like 90 years old. So it's like I'm bringing stuff to them. I could be bringing something in them. So I think it's best they got like a little front yard. I think it's best for us to meet in the front yard and do that. Yeah.
At the end of the day, work is work. So you'll have to wear. If I was you, I'd personally wear a mask when I'm going out into the field. While you're in the hospital space, you'll be required to wear a mask. And then I would encourage you to wash your hands frequently. I'm always washing my hands at work. Like, I was washing my hands prior, but even now I'm more
almost washing them till where they what they say. They're raw, right?
Bro, not rawing, but definitely like not molted, but like very dry, yeah, like ashy, yeah. And I encourage my coworkers, like we had a crazy ass shift. Did I tell you about this on my last shift Wednesday night? The entire Bon Secure's health system was down. Like, I'm talking the computer system, the phone system, the what do you call it? Wi-Fi, telephones, the HEAR radio. So like the radio that emergency medical services calls to make sure that you understand what type of patient you're getting to the hospital. That wasn't working. So like, it was a fucking catastrophe. Like, I'm talking like paper charting. I'm talking we had multiple patients in the ED. It was super weird because the nursing staff was handling it pretty well. Like me myself, like I thrive in chaos. So I was chilling. I was having to make sure my parents were okay while also trying to do or help out with what I could. But honestly, I'm still new to the place. I've never been through downtime there, so it was kind of like,
it's still you in the limbo. You're like, what do we do in this situation?
My charge nurse fucking killed it. She's only been a nurse for 3 years, but her she rocked that shit, bro. I'm talking like everybody who made over 200,000, because there was a radiologist there. And apparently, the radiologist at Bon Secure's reads all the fucking CT scans for the entire Virginia area. So basically, like, because Bon Secure's was down, everybody that's affiliated with Bon Secure's in the area, like Chippenham. Motherfucking Henrico Doctors, like,
that's a Bon Secure hospital or just an affiliate?
I think it's an affiliate. Either way, like, the radiologist at Bon Secure St. Mary's reads the scans of the majority of hospitals in the surrounding area. So he couldn't do nothing.
So
he couldn't do anything.
You said we're getting paid.
What are you talking about? No, my nigga. He's at work. Like, yo, I have patients who are coming in with goddamn abdominal pain, could have a ruptured colon, could have a appendicitis. Like, I don't like, but what I'm telling you is, when you're in the middle of a work shift and the power goes out, nigga. Not the power didn't go out, but the system's down, and you can't talk to anyone because the Verizon. Also, this is also a crazy thing. We couldn't use our cell phones because Verizon nationwide was having a shortage, was having an outage. Bro. Like dead ass. Like, I couldn't get up for 6 hours. This was really sucked. For 6 hours, I couldn't get on fucking Instagram while this was happening. I just had to sit there and like go, like, we could get on the internet, we couldn't get on Instagram. Thank God, like, I'm interpersonal. We were talking to my coworkers.
You know, like, my brother when his lung collapsed, they didn't have a pulmonologist or something like that.
Pulmonologist.
Yeah, they didn't have one on site, and no one was available. So
that kind of makes sense.
But to keep him alive, they called a dude that was cool, like, just taking on call, and he said, "I'm going to walk y'all through." It was another doctor that wasn't familiar.
Was it an ER physician?
Yeah, he said.
So here's the thing. When lung collapse, how you do that?
Yeah.
Literally, it was an ER physician. I'm telling you, if you were if your brother's lung collapse, you're in the emergency department. The emergency department sees everything first, but irregardless of that,
he left. I don't know what.
Bro, I'm just telling you, that's crazy. But it might be an interesting way to have it, though, in the podcast in the background. We'll see.
But here's
let me finish. What I'm saying is, the ER physician was just gonna stick a needle in there, whatever. So that's different because a lot of hospitals, even when they have their systems up, they don't. What are you saying? They don't have resources. So, like, if your brother, when this happened, was he living? Was he living in?
We were living in camp. We used to high school.
Wait, so he went to MCV and didn't have a pulmonologist?
He went to MCV.
Because MCV.
Went to Centera in Richmond.
That would make more sense.
I mean, in Williamsburg. So what happened was he was sitting in there, and they were like, "Yeah, his lungs collapsed." So they were like, They pulled him up to ICU. And then a doctor, when he went to ICU, came in and was like, because they don't really have they got a weird ER department. Mm-hmm. It's very small. Mm-hmm. So they was like, we're going to inflate it. And they, like, was for FaceTime, so it wasn't even an iPhone. So the dude was just on the phone, like, you do this, you do that, walking it through. But DeAndre was the cool thing. DeAndre was like, I am numb. Like he said, I am numb. Like he's like, I couldn't feel shit.
Because when he did it.
Yeah, they gave him a bunch of drugs.
That's very interesting because normally, like, if you have a collapsed lung, what you have to do is like stick a needle in it and like you like reinflate the lung.
Yeah, that's what they did.
But it's normally an emergent procedure, and it happens like in the ED and like under no anesthetic. Like, they just have to fucking do it.
Yeah, they gave him something.
Like I could choke, but either way,
he was in that bitch wilding.
Either way, I'm just trying to say that how that the lack of services on that given day is more common than what I'm talking about. Like what I'm talking about is we had a neurologist on site who's freaking out because he's like, bro, I'm trying to call the on-call doctors because basically every doctor has to go to each individual hospital and watch the scan as it's happening. Like normally what happens is you get the scan, do the CT scanner, you send it off to the radiologist reads it, and then he sends it back to you via whatever internet source. He's like, yo, you literally have to be in the room watching every CT scan that goes by. So when I'm telling you, like that this one radiologist will read 150 or 50 to 100 scans in a night in a shift, you know what I'm saying, from multiple different areas. He needs, but those are coming from 6 different hospitals. Like it's like, bro, the whole system goes down. But either way,
you can't shut us. It's like if you were working at a Target, you could possibly shut the store down. In a hospital, you can't.
But here's the thing. There is a thing where you call going on diversion, and that basically means because all of the emergency departments in the state are connected. So like there's like an online system where you can update your availability of beds, your availability of services like a pulmonologist, cardiologist, neurologist, whatever. And then there's also a term they use called diversion, which means we are at such a capacity bed wise, ED wise, like say MCV would most likely never go on diversion because it's so big. And interestingly enough, with our
I'm just hitting what you're saying, Doctor. Yeah. It's like y'all basically will say we can't take this type of patient because we don't have.
We can't take any patients,
and that's what y'all did.
Listen, so they try because this situation sounds crazy, right? Like this is like, bro, we can't do anything. Mm-hmm. We can do stuff. Like at the end of the day, we can still paper chart, we can still take care of patients, pull medications, and we did. Don't get me wrong, but like with the way that the St. Mary's Emergency Department is supposed to function, we can't function fully as a stroke level certified center, you know what I'm saying, with a 50 bed run ER. But either way, they call the CMO, which is the chief medical officer of the hospital. They're like, no, you can't go on diversion. So they're called, and basically what happened was they went through the nursing supervisor. Supervisor said no. And then the doctor who was in the ED, she was like, yo, who the fuck is above you? I need to call them. This is bullshit. She called them. They were like, 1 second. Then the CMO, the chief medical officer, called and was like, yeah, this is not happening. Y'all aren't going diversion. So either way, we spent 12 hours fucking on basically working as if it was the fucking 1900s in healthcare, 1920s, like very early on, before any of the high-tech systems we have, like even radio at one point, nigga. I'm saying radio wasn't working, dog. What
did they define it as?
What do you mean?
Did they ever tell y'all what it was? Just like
it's just an outage. Like I'm telling you, like at the same time Verizon was out, so I couldn't use my phone. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I thought maybe you haven't been back to work since, so no one you haven't heard like, this is the system went down because of it.
I'm going back tomorrow, so I maybe even find out more information. But crazy enough, like the last thing I'll say on this, everything was smooth, right? We were all like, yo, this is good. Like our patients are very, very minimal right now. Like we had some mental health stuff and some chest pains, but they weren't STEMIs or anything. Guess what happened at 7:12? I get off at 7:30. Guess what happened at 7:12? Nigga, active CPR in progress comes crashing through the ER doors. And I'm saying niggas are sitting at the computers, chopping it up like it's the motherfucking Breakfast Club, my nigga. Like, and all of a sudden, it's like, you seen that? So I sent this to the Joan. I was like, have you seen the Prince Harry interview where he's in the military? The alarm goes off. My nigga, that's what it looked like, bro. Like,
how many nurses would get on that?
Nigga, it was all of us. So it was
on that one patient?
Because it was an active CPR in progress, and we had no idea it was coming. So literally, they come to the doors,
doing compressions on the chest because the person was so big that they couldn't put a Lucas on her, which is which is basically a machine that like does compressions for you.
Oh yeah, we made technology.
Yeah. But either way, it was me. It was 3 nurses because we took over. One was doing compressions. One was trying to get him hooked up to the monitor. The other one was bagging because there was no respiratory therapist. Because there's no respiratory therapist down there yet. Oh, and because all the phones were down, we couldn't call other floors. You had to like go run and grab people.
Oh yeah, I'm just thinking.
The hospital's 7 floors.
So my question. So did the other people in your job have internet though? Like access to data, obviously.
What?
Other people on the job had access to their phones. You just didn't.
No. Like a bunch of us had Verizon.
Right,
my nigga.
Nobody had Sprint, bro.
Not my nigga. This shit was wild, bro. When I tell you this shit was wild. But holy fuck, man. We're 20 minutes in already. That was good. But like, did we finish the coronavirus updates with the masks? Everyone knows we hate them.
I'm good on coronavirus, bro.
No, but I'm just saying because I feel like I jumped into my story.
I mean, you gotta wear a mask in Virginia now.
Yeah, but that's the updates of my day. That's the updates of my week. How about you, bro? Like, how things been?
Just interviewing for part-time jobs. Really ain't been doing nothing. Shoot, been in the crib.
Wait, so the job's gonna be part-time? The one you were talking about earlier?
Yesterday?
I don't know if it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday when I went to interview for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely part-time. Because I can't leave my full-time right now because I'm in a situation where I'm trying to get licensed. So it's like,
gotcha.
I really can't leave something that gives me that type of.
Do you not owe them like a certain amount of years afterwards?
No. So they cool about it. They real cool about it.
That's lit.
Like so
and they're paying for the licensure, right?
Oh, my job?
Yeah.
So right now they're not, but they're gonna have me go.
Okay, so that's probably why.
Yeah. So right now they want me to. I need to call the board and see if I can get this lady that the job offers to do group with me. Mm-hmm. And once she do group with me, like they gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get some more hours. So it's usually a 2-year process. But the dude was telling me like if I do 2 with her,
mm-hmm.
like do with her and maybe meet like get the hours twice a week. You know what I'm saying? So obviously cut your time down and cut your time down a little bit. So I can go from 2 years to a 1.5 till I gotta take the test.
Okay, cool. That's lit. I hope it all goes well. How we can save that for content of the week, I guess. Any like shit you've been watching or reading.
Yeah. I've been watching and reading shit.
Let's fucking get into it, man. There's been a lot to go on. In real news and also bullshit news. Do you want to get serious first, or do you want to have a little fun?
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 You want to talk about this fun that I don't know if I know much about.
We can talk about the Gunna shit. Keep it moving.
They said he was
high.
Doing whippets. like, was he actually doing whippets? Did you see the video?
Yes, I saw the video.
Because some people don't know whippets. I know what whippets.
Can you explain what whippets are while I find you this Gunna doing whippets?
Whippets
video?
are like aerosol.
Wait. Give them the full, long, lengthy explanation. And by the way, we do not condone any drug use on this podcast.
So whippets are perfectly legal to purchase in this country. Because, like, you can buy them in, like, different stores, like Walmart, and it's just aerosol that you inhale, and then you go brain dead from what I hear for, like, a few minutes.
So, I don't know if it's brain dead.
Yeah. Here, some people, like, literally say they, like, our Korean homie said like you can't feel your face.
That's your brain dead.
Oh,
nigga, yes. Yeah, nigga, he's on IG Live.
Oh.
Yeah, so for those of you, like,
that's
a whippet, bro. That's an aerosol.
Yeah,
that's professional whippets. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got the kit.
Yeah, nigga. He's
he got the kit like the dudes in Richmond, I know.
Like, he's not new to this. He's true to this. Like, he's been doing this,
that wasn't the first time.
Yeah, no, not at all, bro. Not at all. And you definitely don't put the first time you do the drug on Instagram Live.
That was this week.
Nigga, that was this week. Yes, bro. Niggas are bored in the house, getting high, killing brain cells.
Just release one.
Yeah, he's excited. What do you mean? Just because you release a new album, you can't keep continuing to do the drugs you normally do? Because obviously this isn't his first time doing whippets.
I'm just
flabbergasted.
Because he was dancing too.
Yeah, he was having fun. It was a good time. He was not ashamed. What do you think?
Like,
you think he's posting?
Did you follow up? Like, did he release like a statement or something?
No, he hasn't said anything about it. But there has been one. So I guess it was some radio show or some outlet that basically said they're not going to promote Gunna because of this. And
so it would have been cool if he was smoking a blunt.
So that's what Adam 22 was saying. Like, how do you feel about that? He said Adam 22 was saying on their podcast, I'm about to fucking big them up twice because there was we can talk about Doja Cat next, an update on that. But they had a good, interesting topic on. But he's basically saying, how is it any different from rappers having lean in their videos? And one of his other co-hosts was basically saying that it's different because you can't see the lean in the cup. But is that the same line of thinking you think with like the blunts because you can't see the blunts, or is it hypocritical? I personally think it's hypocritical. I think if you're going to support artists or their music, it doesn't necessarily mean you support their lifestyle. So why would you pick and choose the morality of one artist's drug use versus the other? Now I'm not saying that's.
I can understand him differently if he was shooting heroin, but lean is liquid heroin.
Not for me. For me, I can understand if he was molesting women. That's okay. Stop supporting that artist. But like at the end of the day, like drug abuse is drug abuse. Lean is liquid heroin. What's the difference?
That's what I said. I was saying, God damn.
No. You said you could understand if they weren't
doing it. No, and then I took it back. I just took it back because I said, I meant it. I was like, I'm taking the take backs.
Yeah.
Because it's.
I mean, for all we know, The Weeknd does heroin. That's what he fucking was talking about in that first.
I'm just sitting there. I'm just still surprised that this nigga said.
Doing whippets?
He was just like, you know what I'm gonna do? I mean.
I wonder what the Black Caucus thinks of this. The Black Twitter Caucus? Because, we were talking about the other day how.
Some people classify some drugs as white.
White drugs and black drugs.
I think whippets are just. I've always thought whippets is just an interesting one. Because a lot of people that I know that have partaken in whippets, they say it's such a. It's more of a thing like. Out of pure, like, there is nothing else to do.
Bro, yeah.
Like,
I remember the first time I saw people doing whippets, it was my sophomore year in college, and literally walked in on these dudes inhaling balloons, and I just knew the second they fucking inhaled that balloon and passed out for a couple seconds, I was like, yeah, that's something I never want to do. Like, I am okay, never knowing what that feels like. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't know. It's, to each their own, though. I don't see anything wrong with Gunna for doing it. I just hope he knows the effects he's probably putting on himself. I'm sure there's a lot of neurological, like, negatives that can come of that. Because like when people say killing brain cells, like, okay, what does it really mean killing brain cells? Let's look at it from more of a. Let's look at it from more of a information standpoint. Like it's probably going to affect. It could maybe give him seizures. I don't know. It could maybe fuck up.
Remember Bonner bro said, "We let do. Y'all can do anything in here."
That's right. That's right.
Can't do those.
So give the whole story to listeners.
So I saw guys with a flag of my alma mater, and so I went up to them and was like, "Yeah, how you enjoying the music festival?"
Wait, where were they at this music festival?
They were on the campsite on the edge of the road where the cops would come by, like. So they
were in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah, so they're not cops. It's like safety patrol to make sure people are breathing, people aren't looting and stealing from others. So this group of guys, I recognize. You go around at these festivals, talk to people. I recognize the school. Obviously I went there, so I was talking to him, and I was like, "Yeah, how's it going?" He was like, "Yeah, it's not really going that well. We got in trouble for Okay, you're good. We got in trouble with the safety patrol." I was like, "For what?" They were like, "We were doing whippets, and they came in here."
Again, to reiterate, they were doing whippets in the middle of the street.
Yeah, because it's like a street, like where like they're like the
no judgment.
Because you remember they come by on horses, so like horses were coming by.
They came back on horseback. Yeah,
so like basically the cops called them and they told me that the cops were like, "Hey guys, like we let y'all do a lot of things here, but." That is something we're not going to condone.
To give you guys a picture of what Bonnaroo is somebody's farm. Just imagine acres and acres of just flat grass that could be used to like plant wheat that somebody just put a goddamn venue in the middle of, and thousands of people camp around outside. The cops are literally saying, "You're in a wasteland paradise." Like imagine, what is that one festival that's out in the desert?
Burning Man.
Imagine Burning Man, but if Pocahontas interior designed it. That's not funny. But either way, you can do whatever there. People do whatever there. You just have
People don't wear clothes.
Yeah, that's wild. There's a family camping. I'm sure that people don't wear clothes and family camping there. But shit. Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Oh,
yeah.
So whippets are crazy. Gunna was doing whippets on IG Live, which I don't know why you would do it on IG. Because like he did it, so it was super weird too. Because he took the video, like it was like 30. It wasn't even 30 seconds. It was like 10 seconds. You saw it. He comes up, does the whippet, dances off screen, and then ends the live as if like that's what he wanted to showcase. Like,
but also you gotta remember, like I think
he's probably high as shit.
Yeah, I think
it's like when Doja Cat was doing coke on live.
Yeah, I think he purposely was doing them, like he does them, but I don't think he meant to record himself because I think like
my nigga, who dance when you dance in front of the screen, like, nigga, I know what he was doing. I've done that before.
I think he realized like, yo, I'm really high. Let me turn this off.
Yeah.
Or he was like, I'm about to go get really, really more high during whippets. I don't want to record. I don't want to be on the phone.
I think it was a bad idea going wrong. I genuinely believe he meant to record himself.
Maybe
was high, thought about what he was doing. It was like, oh shit, let me, like you said.
Like,
I don't think it was a mistake. I don't think it was like, oh, it's supposed to be a video I send to somebody. Because you have to, because remember, to create a live, you have to swipe a completely different direction.
Oh,
and then sometimes it asks you, are you sure you want to go live?
You know what he said? Yes.
Yeah, that shit's wild, man. He's funny though. Again, no judgment. Again, I don't think that rappers are necessarily the best role models unless they strive to be. Just like anybody. Like politicians aren't the best role models unless they strive to be.
Watching TV, well, shows politicians just crooks.
But what I'm saying is, if you were to ask Karen, who's a good role model, she'd say, oh, John Boehner or somebody like that. And it's like, no, he's not when you look at it statistically.
Mitchell McConnell.
And she'd say somebody like Akon, I don't know, he sung that Locked Up song. Isn't he a bad guy? But at the end of the day, it's like, you have to be more thorough with the people. Gunna might not be the type of rapper you look to when it comes to extracurricular activities to have fun. Or even if you're a drug user, the drugs you should be doing. Because let's be honest, alcohol is a drug. Let's just stick with a little bit of Pinot Noir on the weekends. Don't do it every day, but, let a little loose. Fuck. Oh my god. I don't know what Devonte is talking about.
I'm talking about the
likes to partake in oregano. But yeah. So do you have anything else on Gunna getting high?
That just threw me off. Like I think of rappers doing a lot of things. I did not think did it like surprise you? Like that was the choice? Like not saying Gunna doesn't get high, but like that's the choice.
You know what my thought was? What white dude introduced Gunna to the Whippets? Who? Oh, relax. No, I think he was like dead ass. I think he was straight edge. Like the Hennessy, obviously, because he's black. But like I think he was straight edge.
Probably saw Gunna doing this. Hey, photo shoot done today.
He probably was thinking, I'm not going to put this on camera if I know what's best for me. or it might have been like, I'm gonna get this on camera, use this as leverage if I need it to be. But I don't take him as that type of slime.
Bro, now do you think some rappers are smoking crack cocaine?
Yeah. Again, there are everyday citizens who are lawyers, judges, politicians, doctors, garbage men who are doing meth on the daily, who are doing crack. Like I told you I watched that little crack documentary on YouTube that was talking about that. Like there are people who are using drugs on the daily and going about their daily life. Damn, dude, this cough won't go away. Sorry, it might be coronavirus. I know. I apologize.
You might want to put that mask back on.
Yeah. But
I was tell you, I'd rather have your voice muffled than anything else.
I'd rather have your voice muffled than shortness of breath.
For myself.
But yeah, so that's all we got on Gunna. Let's get to some more celebrity bullshit.
Doja Cat.
Yeah, so
I have no idea what. I know they found some footage of her in a racist chat room.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the extent I know.
For those of you who do not know, Doja Cat, singer of the song "Say So," that was remixed recently by Nicki Minaj, and they had a #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Has recently had some videos surface online that weren't the best coloring, all pun intended, of her character. She had some videos that came out of her on an online chat site called Kin or something like that. That was basically her with some
white
internet labeled white nationalists and alt-right people, basically because again, one of the podcasts I was listening to that was talking about this, Data 22 or the No Jumper Show, was saying they didn't see any like facts pulling out each one of these people as being alt-right. But then there are some people saying that each of these people are related to or known to be on that channel, like big names in the alt-right movement.
Well, me and you obviously wouldn't know.
Yeah, I have no clue.
We don't.
All I know is there are videos online of
what did she say in them?
Doja Cat being online in a predominantly white chat room, making very, very crude racial humor jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So she's in there at one point talking about
her own mix.
No, something like sort of semi-sexual, and then it's like you want a nigger, and she like drops a hard R. You know what I'm saying? And then there's another one that they were talking about. It's not necessarily her being racist, but it's her kind of acting out for these white dudes. Like she's showing her thong in one, and another one she's like kind of spitting on her fingers. You know, it's like
she's weird. Man.
She is strange.
I don't like. Sometimes I don't like give these celebrities all the credit. Like now, she's like, to me, some of the stuff she does, and I'm gonna put it this way: people can say I don't know if she's all there.
Yeah. So I agree that in my opinion she's strange, but they were saying on the No Jumper Show, that's the thing. She's always been strange. Like one of the dudes on the Jumper channel is called Little House Phone, and he's basically saying, yo, her type of humor is his type of humor. Like he understands it. It's this internet age. Yo, I'm behind my keyboard on chat forums. You know, kill niggers. You know, playing online video games type of humor that they do on that shit. Like my little brother type of shit. Like not saying that my little brother like fucks with that type of humor to that extent, but it's of the same.
It's almost
culture.
immature.
Yeah, but it's also of the same. Like I don't want to call it immature because there are niggas who are probably doing mad mature things in the real world and then online, going on these chat forums and making these types of jokes. Now, I'm not saying that they're making the jokes racially, because I'm not saying that all of the jokes in this style of humor have to be racial or overtly sexual or overtly what's the word? What's the word when you say men are better than women? You know what I'm saying?
Misogynistic.
Yeah, misogynistic or whatever. It's very rated R humor. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like Hangover humor. The movie from The Hangover. Yeah. It's like what you enjoyed as a 17-year-old boy.
It's like the rawness of a Dave Chappelle and a Bill Burr without any of the sophistication. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're gonna say some salacious shit, but there's no real deeper meaning to it. I'm just laughing at you saying it, nigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like me and you, and here's my thing. It's like once they started talking about that, I started seeing it from a different perspective. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I don't think she meant it in a way that was super, super aggressive or black, but it was still weird, in my opinion, because of the room she was in making these jokes.
I think, like, and this is just one of my final comments on her. Like I said, I personally think Doja Cat is a strange human being. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Like, people like try to put these, like, we talked about Gunna. Everybody wants them to be role models and shit like that. She may not all be there. She may be she does weird stuff. She dressed up as a cow. And
that's what I'm saying. She's from the internet culture. She is of that weirdness that is strange. Like, it's from the same culture that makes the TV shows that we like to watch. So that's what I'm saying is, like, see it.
Adventure Time.
Exactly. And so that's where I was like, okay, let me pump the brakes on being like, she's completely, like, evil, because nobody is. But she's just a weirdo, which is.
And if you choose not to want to engage, it's like people that don't like certain comedians. I've had people say, I don't like Dave Chappelle because I don't like the comedy he makes. I don't like, he talks about the T's and the L's. So the thing is, at the end of the day, if you don't like what she stands for, turn the shit off.
Now at the same time, I would say, Doja, you can't also now come out here in a few years and be like, I'm pro-black and I'm all this, because
stick to what you know.
Stick to what you know. And it's also the thing, too, with I'm No Jumper Pod, they were saying how the people who are criticizing her were the black feminine pages and this, that, and the third. And I kind of took it a little bit of like, well, duh, they're going to be the ones who are actually offended or actually being principled in the situation, because that's what their principles and identities are, which you can't take away from them because they are black women. Doja Cat is a half black, half white woman, and she chose to be more on the white side, which is no fucking
not third. Choose what
do what you want to do, but also you got to realize that there comes a
backlash.
A backlash with that, yes, especially and here's what besides negate all that shit, the only real part I find super super fucking weird about it is at the age she was having those conversations in the rooms with white dudes. It's like, yo, if you were gonna make racial humor, like I make racial humor, but normally it's like when I'm with a couple black people,
or maybe more, and even if you're,
or if
people you're more comfortable with.
Yeah,
it's still a strange.
And if it's with white people, the racial humor probably doesn't just negate. It probably doesn't negate me. It's probably about them. Like, and then like it's like an equal shift. It was very strange. It was very strange.
So I'm like I try to stay away from anything Doja Cat because they're like,
which is unfortunate because she makes okay music.
But I just think with like her controversy that she comes with, I think there's a possibility. Obviously, like you said, she's on drugs, and we all know drugs alter people's minds.
Yeah. Now but drugs don't only make people like have identity issues and become whitewashed. That's just culture and nurture.
Oh no, but like some of the like I guess like wild comments,
the outbursts. But she didn't look like she was on drugs in any of those videos.
Oh no, she's just interesting. I try to just stay out.
Now, did you know that early on, after she had the bitch on, like early on when she had the bitch on Macau thing, when she got popped, why we didn't like see her for a while? Because she had another scandal where she said the F word. She said a bundle of sticks.
Oh yeah, I thought it was also one of the comments where she said, no, she said the comment about, I don't date black men and stuff like that too.
I see. I'm only talking about what I've seen. I didn't see any of that.
I saw that one too.
So it's.
But AB also posted it.
So to me, it's just like there's just a lot of.
Where's Dr. Umar Johnson in these times?
Relax.
Let's get to Dr. Umar Johnson in these times.
Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't want no parts. Like Dr. Umar Johnson would look at fucking Doja Cat and go, tough. That's what he would say, tough. That's the type of
I'm not gonna go on his official Instagram, not the one I look at.
And tag Doja Cat story. Please give us some insight on this, Master Umar.
Bro, this.
What?
Oh.
What, nigga?
Just the stupidity, like. His like Instagram is just like he puts like a cartoon picture of himself and everything. Like yo, seriously, go through this and look at like there's a cartoon image of himself like it's his.
Oh, like he's like it's his tag, like he's branding it. Like, so you can't steal it. Like, he's the one who came up with. Oh my god, get the fuck out of here. But either way, let's
Bro,
get.
he probably getting to now. He probably like donations.
Sit down, nigga. We 44 minutes in. Let's get this shit going. Let's
get the serious stuff going.
Yeah. So wait. Let's just sum up our thoughts with Doja Cat. So Doja Cat, is she canceled? Will she be able to recover from this? What's your prediction?
Yeah, people like her music.
So you think this won't affect her just like the
I think when people like your music, I think a lot of times when your music sucks and you do stupid stuff, it's easy to cancel you. It's like when you're on top and you still say so sometimes your talent can outshow your.
So I'll say this: what is Doja Cat's audience? Because for a second there, I thought Doja Cat was breaking into the urban. I hate to say it, the urban market.
My little cousins listen to her. My little cousins go to school in Hampton.
So that's what I'm saying. Do you think she'll still have that ride after this?
Yeah, because I think teenagers. Because I think she was getting bigger with the teenage audience. Because like my little cousin, she like 14, and she was like, she was doing a little dance off the TikTok. But she don't really make music. But she has appropriate.
But listen, she only has one or two songs that were hitting that. Again, I hate the word urban market. It's a lot of her songs are alternative kind of poppy songs off the album. So what I'm saying is, knowing that the Say So song only made it number one after Nicki Minaj, a veteran in the female black hip hop sphere, jumped on, coming out saying, "Yo, I dislike black men" during the fucking George Floyd second coming of the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, it's like, do you not see black people who are really engulfed in this side sticking with her? Like, I personally don't. Like, I don't. Like, if she has dropped a song that's fire like that, Better Than Me, Joan Again, like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking probably listen to it. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think it'll affect her from the audience she's built that's outside of that culture, like the suburban culture. But I wonder if it's going to affect. I could see it affecting her. Like, niggas not really fucking with her like that no more. Like, especially if fucking Meg Thee Stallion comes through, drops something hot, you have someone else come through. Because
dropped the goddamn remix with Beyonce. So
Cardi B's been real quiet. Let Cardi B come out and have something that's fire, bro.
Yeah, she filled in a gap where a lot of music. She was able to fill in with a lot of.
She was quarantine radio, bro.
Yeah.
Now that shit gonna come off, and once the heavy hitters come back, shit, why are we fucking with this chick who don't know she want to be fucking black and have 4C hair, bro? Talking about the only things that I got that were good to me were my ass and my hips and my fucking tits. And like, what? It's like, what? Like, come on, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. But good luck to you, Doja. You make cool music. To stop doing doofus ass shit, bro. Like, that's all. Just stop getting online. And like, maybe not stop getting online. Just stop recording it. You know, like, I don't know, man.
Just do what you do in private.
Yeah, bro. Do that. And just do it around a game of spades or something, like in your crib. Like, don't be virtual.
I think word to Gunna too. Do that in private, bro.
Yeah, dog. No one's gotta see your drug use, dude. Like, no one's gotta.
We all believe you if you rap.
we get it. We get it.
4 or 5 whippets a day.
Mm-mm.
Keep Gunna awake. Which I will believe you, Gunna. You don't have to do whippets.
You don't have to.
In front of me.
You don't have to refill the canister in front of my eyes for me to see.
Bro, bro, just like $15, bro. That's why some people do it too, because it's such a cheap high.
I wouldn't know nothing about that. What?
I'm talking to people. People do it because you can go to Target and get it. And if you're really addicted to getting high, because some people are not addicted to drugs. Some people are addicted to just high.
Yeah. So whatever. Let's get done with the fluff and let's get into some real shit. That's gonna. I mean,
it's dark.
Yeah, it's morbid. It's dark, but it's real. It's reality. It's what we live in. It's the world we live in. So earlier we spoke about George Floyd, and if you if you are the type of person who listens to this podcast and you are unaware of the slaying of 46-year-old George Floyd, then this segment is probably good for you. I think it'll be, because I don't want to lead it in a way that is very ostracizing to people who are ignorant to the struggles of African Americans in America. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like that's not gonna change most things if you're just an apathetic, ignorant person. You know. But I digress. If you don't know, George Floyd, a 46-year-old African American man, was murdered by police officers in Minneapolis on May 25th, 2020. So that was what, Monday? Monday, yeah. So there's 4 weeks. So basically, Derek Chauvin, a man who, spoiler alert, has been arrested for murder. In the, I don't know, was it first degree? I posted it.
First degree manslaughter.
First degree manslaughter.
Yeah,
knelt on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds.
But everybody got fired. I mean,
four of them got fired.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
4 of the officers involved, including David, Derek, were fired. But basically, the incident happened was, if you did not see the video and you don't want to watch the video, there's a video showing David or Derek kneeling on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, where Floyd is heard saying, "I can't breathe." He is heard saying, "Please, somebody get my mom."
I'm not resisting.
I'm not resisting. All the things that an innocent man would say when he's being, suffocated.
And in the backstory, the reason they was even called is wild. They said that he was forging money, like using fake counterfeit money. Mm-hmm. So I talked to Brianna. She worked in retail. She worked at a retail right now, and that ain't even fucking protocol for most stores. If somebody got suspected to be counterfeit money, they said we can't take this as another form of payment. If you don't want if you make a big deal, they call the police.
Irregardless of where they're supposed to call the police call them that. Regardless of the crime that was being committed. When it comes to, was Floyd resisting? Would they have just arrested him and taken him away? At the point you've captured the man, what more is there to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Like,
no. I work in a hospital where we have individuals who are TDO'd, ECO'd, who are autistic and maybe schizophrenic, or who are just schizophrenic, or who are just aggressive, like mad aggressive, and they got in a bar fight and they got a gash on their head.
So y'all need to take care of more people. People that come in on drugs that are super aggressive, they're tripping nuts.
Never once you have a person incapacitated, do you feel the need to hold them down for 8 more minutes? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of times, I've seen, once they're in handcuffs, it's minimal damage.
Yes. Big facts.
I've seen
it. It was ridiculous.
I've seen a kid lose it. I was at work one night when they had to handcuff a kid because he became a different person. But it's ridiculous. They didn't kneel him, thank God.
No. Irregardless of the fact, he wasn't doing any of that, right?
Mm-hmm. He was just sitting there.
So, without saying he was resisting, you had a man down and you knelt on his neck and suffocated him for 8 minutes. Regardless of the crime he committed, you cannot enact justice without a trial. And you just can't do that. It's murder. It's murder. And there's little else to be said about that. Currently, because it is Saturday the 30th, Derek Chauvin is in jail. He's awaiting trial. I'm assuming
$500,000 bond.
$500,000.
So you gotta come up with 50 racks.
We will see
if his family can come up with 50 racks.
Yeah, I doubt it. 50 racks is a lot of money, especially for somebody who's
I couldn't pay nobody 50. Could you pay somebody 50 racks right now?
No.
Like most human beings in this country.
Best believe me, when my emergency savings, number one, is 50 racks, I'm not going to bail out my cousin who's fucking accused of murder, a black man. Yeah,
bro. And then the crazy joke. So when you
because I have some white cousins.
I was talking about this earlier. Like bailing somebody out is the most dangerous joke you can do. Cause so you put the money up and you get your money back, but the person gotta go to court or they can't get arrested within while. So let's say you can't even get a speeding ticket while
I know, nigga.
So it's like
speeding tickets.
So it's like, dang, he was speeding. Now he got a speeding ticket. Now I just lost $50,000. Like, cause the judge gonna tell you just forfeited. A bail bondsman, you don't pay him, bro. That could be dangerous too.
Yeah, this nigga's not getting bailed out. We will
He's
see. We will see.
He's gonna
We
be
will
in
see if
PC.
justice.
He's gonna be in
if
PC
justice gets served, and let's get to the.
He's definitely in PC.
Let's get to the riots. Let's get to the fucking riots. That's where I want to get at this point. We've already explained what the fuck's happened. If you need to go see this video and see this man get murdered to understand what's going on, if you watch the video and you fucking see this man get murdered and you still don't think it was a murder, I can't help you at this point. Mike, I'm going to talk to you. But there have been rioting and looting since the death was video. I want to say since 2 days after, because there was basically what happened was there was peaceful protests for about a day, and then police started breaking up the protests, and that's when I believe rioting started. So it wasn't the fact that niggas came in and just started fucking throwing Molotov cocktails through windows when this shit happened. They were trying to do vigils and shit like that. Now, in Richmond, Virginia last night, somebody might have just started the fucking fire.
Sounds like they said something like somebody shot off a gun.
Bro, but what I'm saying is, in Minnesota, it started out peaceful.
I think it was peaceful in Richmond for a little bit.
But listen, what I'm saying is, all I saw the videos where there was niggas walking, and then someone was there was just a fucking car on fire. Niggas were still walking. So it's kind of.
They burned down the city bus.
Oh my god! So listen,
and then they had to basically
pause.
So they had to
wait. You fast forward.
They burned down the city bus. So then it sounds like what they did too was like from the article I read is then they sent all the buses back to the jump and protected them. Because then the dumbest statement. So the buses got set on fire. Then they go repeat in the article. The bus was a 2004 Pulse bus. It's reported as a total loss to the insurance company. Once a car on fire, I don't think you can salvage it. I knew it was a total. Why did you put the insurance information out there? We've already contacted the insurance company.
Because they want you to know they're unbothered. Y'all gonna destroy y'all shit? Bet. Guess what? I'm gonna pull the insurance on this, and I'm not getting a new bus. Bitch ass niggas.
Yeah, and that's crazy because they fought for years to get the bus.
That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna get to the point of my beliefs on rioting, my beliefs on looting, and where you should do it and what you should do. Because again,
you said loot the white neighborhoods.
Because again, as Martin Luther King says, rioting is the language of the unheard. But there was more to that where he kind of condemned the idea of rioting because he thinks it didn't get you much anywhere. I don't believe that in a sense. I think rioting does serve a purpose if it's done in a calculated manner. But there was riots. What I've seen and what I think is there are individuals who are taking slight advantage of a lot of pain in the surrounding area. You motherfuckers who are looting and fucking salvaging and rioting. Oh, no. You motherfuckers who are looting icebox jewelry. Did you see that?
No, I did not see
that. Bro, so you gotta go to Academics page. Niggas are looting icebox jewelry. Some nigga fucking looted a Honda dealership. Just drove the car right through the front gates, bro. Bro, my nigga, they ran through Target, bro. There was a fucking video. Oh, let me see if I can find this. There's a video of niggas got a whole box. You know, because you have like a box of watches. It's a box of Rolexes. They dropped the box. They just start scrambling, grabbing this shit up, bro.
Bro, they was beating on the little ATMs, bro. They just lost it.
Niggas was fucking working as if it was the goddamn barbershop movie, dog. Stealing out of ATMs.
Oh, yeah, barbershop. Yeah, and then the dude said, haha, jokes on them. I hadn't filled it up yet. I love that movie. You remember that part when he said, yeah, jokes on them? I hadn't even filled it up
yet. What the fuck was I looking at? Oh, yeah, Academics. I was
Anthony Anderson. Old school. That was fat Anthony Anderson, too. And they dropped it on the
Bro, look at this shit.
How did they record it, too?
Exactly. I think it's on live. They're on live.
And this in Icebox? Where Icebox at? In
New York?
Houston?
Is it?
I thought Icebox Houston.
It might be Houston. I don't know. Personally, I don't know.
Ain't that Paul Walls and Johnny Dane?
Yeah. So
that's Houston, then.
Okay,
they might got multiple.
Houston.
They might got multiple ones. But all that shit. I mean, it's dumb because you committing a crime. I ain't gonna say it's like.
So here's. Okay.
But the businesses, like from that standpoint, like that business ain't gonna be worried because like They got insurance.
You hope they have insurance.
Oh yeah. I hope they would have
because
insurance.
Because at the end of the day, you got to realize too. Oh yeah, but you got to realize we're in coronavirus. People haven't been working, haven't been buying shit. Some businesses might not have insurance because their insurance said you haven't paid the last 3 months, nigga, and we didn't implement the policy to get back on this shit.
Cover those things.
Yeah, but my opinion of the looting is you have to be strategic and you have to be calculated when you arson shit, right? So I saw this list going around about black businesses in DC, and I don't know if it was like saying you should shop from these during these times, or yo, if you're out there looting, don't loot from these businesses. But if that latter point is the energy they were on, I believe that's the energy you should be on. And I'm only speaking from the standpoint of being
loot
black.
Corporate?
Yes, but I'm only speaking from being the standpoint of, yo, if we are African Americans rioting because we are tired of a fucking system that allows a white man who has benefited from so many different power structures to get one up on the black man to the point that he could sit on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds while he's crying out for his mom and kill him and then go back to work doing the same job, my nigga, you better make sure that you are calculated. You are burned down the police station, nigga. While it is your tax dollars, that is a calculated way to your tax dollars. You're burning down the system or showing signs that, yo, a police officer in this
neighborhood's not going to do this.
Not going to do this. Second, you make sure that you are going to get the man in jail or whatever. Yeah. But back to the fucking looting and arsoning. Don't loot shops that are putting tax dollars into your economy. Every mom and pop store is paying local taxes in your area. When you go fucking loot the Walmart or Target, I kind of get that because it's like it's a multinational corporation that doesn't pay taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck am I mad Target's gone? I'm not losing no money on that. Amazon paid $0 in federal taxes. Like, if you could loot an Amazon fucking warehouse, go loot that shit, nigga.
On Twitter, they were saying Jeff Bezos,
but
Jeff Bezos killing.
Yeah, but what is it?
Jeff Bezos.
I'm not looting Jeff Bezos' house. I'm looting his goddamn corner store in Fredericksburg, Virginia, nigga. But
he got one in Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
He got one in Sampson.
No, he don't have one in Fredericksburg. I'm lying. That's UPS. But
it's him still.
Is
so
it?
they have a contract with UPS, so
guy.
He would still lose money.
Good guy, but either way,
he's rich.
Either way, just be careful, man. Like, I'm just at this point where I know some people are still radicalized to the point where they believe they're Malcolm, bro. But if you've never seen a dead body, don't be out here talking so loosely about grabbing a gun and protecting yourself and stoking the flames. I'm not gonna say that people who are just out here saying they want to buy a gun for protection or insinuating they want a race war, but when tensions are high,
you got the right to bear arms,
and aggressions are looked at as the first resort in situations instead of the last resort, if a resort at all, like, you have to be very careful, man, because the only thing like that to digress, whenever we talk about nursing and you're like, bro, you can't put that fact that you're a nurse in the center of you, or right? I was talking to a coworker the other day. It's so weird. I've seen niggas dead. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen multiple dead bodies from different reasons, for all different ages. Once it's gone and done and dusted, that's it, bro. So, like, you don't gotta, and especially if you were the cause of that, that's gonna stay with you forever, dog. Yeah, bro. So don't tread with the idea of taking life so lightly.
Yeah, bro. Like definitely. My uncle and my dad growing up in Newark, New Jersey in the projects, they was like, bro, you don't forget that stuff.
Yeah, it's trauma.
They were saying, like, you don't forget them closed, like, he told my mom the story when they was married. They closed down the apartment because somebody got murdered in the little stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
And then then he said the reality is you might walk past the body before the police come. And then you gotta go live in the apartment again.
Just simply saying, like, aggression and violence is a very slippery slope. There's a reason why everybody who goes to war, and whether or not they kill somebody, they saw their body, they fucked up, bro. Like, there's a reason why that shit's not natural. There's a reason why that shit's not cool. There's a reason why
death is natural, but like some way,
yeah.
So no, I'm saying, like, some of the ways people go ain't natural to see. It ain't natural to see death.
Death by aggression's unnatural.
Like, would you?
Yeah, that's not,
because
that's a lie.
I'm pretty
tiger.
Because I'm pretty sure, like, even your experience as a nurse at a hospital here in Richmond completely different than somebody at Southside Chicago, they're seeing gunshots, and we're seeing that every day. Like that got an effect on you too. Like seeing that type of death.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, looking at a dead, seeing seeing a person come in alive and then die, or like talking to a person
and then they pass away.
No. Talking to like a 27-year-old person who came in and then dies 8 hours later, it's just going to affect you. Like death in any sort of form.
You think being a corner affects you? People that even like
them niggas just weird, bro. I'm gonna be straight up. I follow a chick who I went to high school with whose like dream was to be in a funeral home. Now that's what she's doing. Yo, that bitch is crazy, bro.
So you think those people they're way more comfortable with death?
They're
more comfortable with seeing dead bodies than you are.
Yeah.
I mean, because their whole job is.
Yeah, but either way,
they don't see them alive.
To bring this back to George Floyd, I know there's a lot of angry people out there. I know my people are angry. I know they're hurting. I know a lot of people are scared and they're anxious. The best thing to do, in my opinion, right now is to do your actionable items and then protect your mental health as best you can. So what does that mean? Be informed. You don't have to watch the video. You don't have to traumatize yourself by watching another person that looks like you die by the hands of a white man, especially when we know that this happens on the daily, or let's say yearly, or let's just say this happens in a fucking America since for the last 400 years. You don't have to re-traumatize yourself like that. So inform yourself. And this is for black people, by the way. I'll give you white people shit for a second. But inform yourself. Second is do actionable items, whether that's writing to your local magistrate if you want to, whether that's reposting and sharing, whether that's having a conversation.
Someone that don't understand racism.
No. Whether that's having a conversation with your loved ones to make sure they're okay. Because here's where it comes. Because again, like we can get to that point of having conversations with people who don't understand.
No, or like my man said, just vote.
So, vote. Yes, actual items. Vote when the time comes around.
And then I don't even like people don't realize too. Like there's like in real local elections, like sometimes like voting for deputies and
you vote for your sheriff. You vote for your local sheriff.
So it's like making sure you even vote in those because that really control like police brutality because they can do a lot. Like Henrico County, like because we had when the kids was doing stuff. I learned that like in Henrico County they gotta wear body cams now because that was voted in.
Damn, but that's exactly the type of shit that I'm talking about. It's actual items that you can do that will make you feel like you're making a positive impact, and you are making a positive impact. That also doesn't put you at a mind state where you're being confronted with shit that's not real facts and throws your cholesterol, your blood pressure, your stress in a way that is not healthy for you. African Americans are at a higher predisposition to get high cholesterol and high blood pressure. In the Health versus Wealth movie, I know I talk about this movie a lot that I watched during my public health degree courses or whatever.
Where's it on?
I can find it for you and I'll send it to you. It's like it's it's an educational video.
Yeah, I like it.
But basically, it talks about why African Americans who live in America, regardless of socioeconomic status, so what job they work, regardless of the amount they exercise, regardless of all the controllable factors they can do to make their health better than the next average person, still experience worse health outcomes than their white counterparts. And it came down to the stress of being black in America. You know, the stress of having to
worry about the police attacking.
Worry about police. Worry about microaggressions. Worry about what my fucking hair looks so I can get a job. Yeah. Worry about being accepted in certain areas. You know, worry about that where you're just disrespecting
higher poverty levels, stuff that people go through that like other people don't get.
But I'm just the everyday of being black in America, right? Yeah. That's what it came down to. That's why I think the actionable items black Americans should do, because, you know, when people like to point at the next man and say, this is what you should be doing, you're not doing enough, that's all black people need to do. Because at this point, I know, my son's going to know, because I'm going to teach my loved ones, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to instruct them, you know? That's where black people need to be. And that fifth step is just, protecting your mental health. So again, let's go over it again so it's streamlined real quick. What I believe you should do is A, inform yourself, B, inform your loved ones, C, talk to your representatives if you can, wait, 4, vote, and then 5, protect your mental health. So that might be getting off social media. Because again, you don't need to be bombarded with this video, bombarded with Black Lives, because you understand it.
Yes.
And you need to make sure that your Black life matters and your family's life matters. Make sure if you have kids, don't have your kids watching this shit 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Take your kids to the fucking park. You know, continue to live your life. In my opinion,
play basketball.
Number 5, what that means is the way you win is by continuing to fucking live, bro.
The life you choose to want to live.
Yeah. Legally. Yes. Because at the end of the day, too, what we all need to remember and we all need to keep in perspective is that we have come a long way. There are times where niggas, it seems like we're moving retroactively, or that shit's what's the word? Not becoming copacetic anymore. Or people are becoming more angry or more violent. Like my grandfather told me when I came back from Ghana, relax. We are a lot better and a lot more protected than we were in the past.
Yeah, Popeye like that.
Shit's not great, or shit's not perfect. Shit's not where it should be. But my nigga, it is a better time than the 40s. It's a better time than the 50s. We're in 2020 and we are winning, and we are going to continue to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe you should get a gun, but get a gun responsibly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
go like it's go. Right? If you're a first-time gun purchase, like, learn to use the gun.
Learn to clean the gun. Learn to take care
Learn
of it.
how to clean the gun, because there's accidents where people have shot themselves cleaning the gun. Just don't go get a gun just because I want to protect myself. Like, know how to protect yourself. But that's neither here or there.
Do your due diligence. But to get off Black people, the last conversation I've been seeing a lot is the MLK versus the Malcolm X argument. And here's what I'll say on that. I found out MLK wasn't completely with all of his ideas to the 100% as we like to make it out when I went to the that museum in Atlanta, Georgia, the Human Race Civil Rights Museum or whatever.
Towards the end, he realized that some of his ways was flawed.
Yeah, which we should all do because nobody's perfect. Just like Malcolm X wasn't perfect. Malcolm X wasn't always militant. Malcolm X wasn't always...
Towards the end, he went to Mecca and prayed with white folks and realized that, obviously he realized that the Nation of Islam was more corrupt than he knew. But, I feel like that's a very, very, very important book that I think a lot of people should read. But because I think, like, when you dive into that, understanding Malcolm's point of view, Malcolm's father was killed by the Klan. Mm-hmm. So, like, his vision was skewed. He's seen the evil in white people.
Yeah.
But, like, at this point, at points, it's a progress of a criminal to one of the most powerful men in the world.
Yeah. So what I'm getting and what I'm trying to say from this is that looking at both these great men's lives is that the conversation is nuanced. You need both. You can't just have one. You can't just have the other. You can't just lead with love in the face of aggression and violence and think all is going to be okay, because that's just not how the world works, unfortunately. Like, from literature I read, from fucking anime I read, like, this is in and of itself. There's a great anime I was reading, I told you last week, called Vinland Saga, that deals with that. It deals with the idea of a prince who is using violence to bring peace to the world versus a warrior turned pacifist who's trying to go onward west to a new land called Vinland and make it a place where swords aren't needed. In this world where this prince is conquering all of England and whatever, you know what I'm saying?
It's what we always discuss, and I'll leave it there. Balance.
You need balance of both. So where I would say the Malcolm comes into place is, when you start, like we always be talking about, like, where do Black people go? How do Black people survive? Is you do what other minority groups do, is insulate yourselves. You buy, like a lot of rappers say, buy back your hometown, buy back your neighborhood. You open up shops, like, or open up areas of shopping, like Nipsey Hussle did in certain areas. And then when you have these societies, these closed, gated communities, you protect them with firearms. You know what I'm saying? Just like our people did back in the day. Back in the South, Black families, it was common for you. Like, it was actually illegal for Black families to own rifles instead of shotguns, but Black families owned shotguns. I'll tell you what. Tell you why Black people it was legal for them to own rifles, because it's easier to kill a Klan member from 100 meters away or wait, like 10 kilometers away versus 100 meters with a rifle than it is a shotgun. But either way,
shotgun put a hole in you, though.
You use weapons, you use aggression when you are aggressed on in your space of peace and living. You know what I'm saying? It's just like America. Like, bro, like we
try to create peace as a country, but when we feel our peace is attacked, and
we fuck on other niggas. Now, there's nuance there. Like, we
like
do
1940. It was like 1945, like when we was trying to, I don't know, when we tried to stay out of 1941, we tried to stay out of the World War II, but the Japanese came in and bombed. So America said, keep that thing on us also.
Hey, have you ever heard of a nuclear weapon? You're gonna learn today.
And that, like, bro, just a quick tangent.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that was excessive what they did. That was like payback.
We're taught that was excessive. We are taught that was excessive now.
Yeah, like,
that's why we don't use them anymore.
Do you realize they literally said, "Yeah, surrender," but we got another one.
Like, you seen Watchmen? For those of you who've seen Watchmen, that blast at the end of the movie, that nuclear weapon, we did that. Like, that's a real thing. Like, we kind of see what that looked like because we did that. But either way, back to the Malcolm argument. So that's where you use Malcolm. You use him when you have an insulated community, when you've been protecting and your insulated community could just be your home. You could be you, your black wife, your beautiful chocolate babies. You use Martin's philosophy when you're interacting with other communities, when you're interacting with other minorities, when you're talking to the Asian community about their fucking hardships they've been going through since the coronavirus shit has happened and their shit. You talk about it when you have the John Boehners and the Mitch McConnells who are racist fucks, but they aren't aggressively trying to hit you. They're just trying to use the vulgarity or not vulgarity, but the hypocrisy of their thinly veiled presentations and their laws and their political political jargon and shit to confuse the masses into believing that the policies that they're implementing are for them and not for a power structure that benefits white men for largely hundreds of years in this country. It's like, bro, it's like that's when you use the Martin. That's when you learn yourself, as they say. That's when you get the medical degrees and you
start educating yourself on how to do it.
What's it called? Get your law degree. You get your fucking business degrees.
You get degrees in just public policy and understand policy better and educate and become a community gatherer, community organizer.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel. Now, you can disagree with me. You can believe your own
opinion.
That's everyone else's opinion. But that's where I feel the most of our energy will be placed. Like, at this point, it's like I feel like a lot of our peers get exhausted because they feel like they're expending their energy in so many different directions when it's like, you don't have to do that. Do your actionable items. Figure out your role, because some of us aren't Malcolm, some of us are Martin. Some of us are Martin, some of us are Malcolm, some of them are Martin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you need both, but you have to understand each other, because when we're divided, that's when you fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's get to the white people, right? Or non-people of color. Yo, bro, it's up to y'all niggas to, like, do all those actionable items except for number 5, which is stir up your mental health, bro. Like, if you are a person who just does not understand what is going on at this point, you are the one who needs to watch the fucking video. You need to go watch this black man dying, being murdered. See someone die on camera that actually is a wrong in a sense that is not human, it's not natural. You need to read up on the history. Go back and realize that probably the education you were given on the history of America when it comes to slavery, when it comes to segregation, when it comes to or Reconstruction, when it comes to segregation, when it comes to civil rights, and it comes to police brutality, that a lot of the shit that's been going on is more serious than you took it for, and it's perpetuated by a lot of the ways that we live unconsciously in this community of ours. You know what I'm saying? Especially white people. If you're a person of Caucasian descent and you get anxious about your part and you are feeling like you are don't know what to do, it's simply having these conversations with people who are from your kinfolk that tend to be differently. It could just be your family. It could be you having that uncomfortable conversation with your grandmother every Thanksgiving. It could be you having that uncomfortable conversation with your coworker when that coworker found solidarity with you in some racial humor that you found uncomfortable, but you didn't have the heart to say a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Having dialogue is going to change.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, too, do I think that this is something that can be fixed overnight? No. This is something that
take years. Will take years.
It will take years, but at the end of the day, like, if we don't do our actual items on the daily, like, nothing's gonna.
It's starting off with just like you said, stirring up the pot, having tough conversations, evaluating yourself, learning how it is to be an ally to the movement.
And now lastly to the group of people who are ignorant, don't care, and are apathetic to the whole process of what's going on. Man, I feel for y'all because y'all's life has to be.
You live in oblivious.
It's got to be. I just don't know what that life is full of. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
to each his own. That's how people choose to live their life.
Because normally when you talk, because you've interacted with these people, they don't seem to be the most fulfilled. You know what I'm saying?
Mundane. Some would say mundane.
Yeah, it's like a life without history, a life without knowing. It's like a life without the art. It's like,
it's boring.
Because when you think about it, the arts are made by so many different types of cultures. It's just, it's bland. You know, and I hope you learn yourself.
Eating food without seasoning.
It's like eating food without seasoning.
Or trying the same. It's like not being like the beauty.
Could that be the episode? Could that be the name of the episode?
Yeah.
It's like eating the food without seasoning. Oh my god, yeah. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
But no, I'm just saying, like, I've been able to go to different cultures and try different stuff. I've been blessed, and I'm blessed to have a partner right now who's been around the world and likes different food. So and likes different movies and stuff. So like, sometimes when you just like one thing, you get bored.
Racism. It's like eating another country's food without seasoning.
Yeah. It's like this is how much like white people will like. Bro, did you know we whitewashed the taco?
Yeah. I
didn't know that till recently. So it's like,
when have you ever gone to an authentic Mexican joint and been like, let me get a taco? Pretty sure they call it something different.
No, it's tacos, but tacos are different. Like, it don't have all the lettuce, sour cream, and all that shit on it. But it's like, America will find something and then try to make it their own.
Pizza.
I've never had authentic, complete.
But I mean, it's not an American dish.
No, it's an Italian dish.
But we damn sure put our nuts on that shit.
Or Papa John's. Mm-hmm. He's racist.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. But okay, so that was a lot.
You want to go to health topic or just go straight to content of the week?
Nah, let's get a health topic in real quick and let's get out of here. This was a good episode. I have fun today.
Health topic is everyone. Would you say therapy?
Yeah. So it's just a quick question. I had this thought of the day, and the thought was, because we've been talking about mental health and encouraging people to go to therapy, or I think like the general idea is encouraging everyone to go to therapy. We all benefit from therapy, but do we all need therapy?
Not everyone needs it, but you benefit. I think every person, it's good that, like, I think people like therapy because you have a complete stranger, and Big Sean said it so greatly, and once you start telling people all your dark thoughts, it could change the dynamic of the relationship. The beauty of a therapist is the whole relationship is to have dark thoughts. If you went and told your therapist, I want to kill myself today, your therapist isn't going to even think any differently of you because he has no background for what he's giving you. But if you went to your close homie and say, I'm trying to kill myself today, he can be like, bro, off. So I think sometimes you need to self-reflect and say, I'm not okay, and then look at possibly going to find a therapist. And there's a whole process of doing it. Find someone that you feel relates to. Some people want someone that's nothing like them. And some people want someone that's completely like them.
But to go back to the point of you saying you only need it when you need a therapist, like if you're having these suicidal thoughts or you're having these negative, intrusive thoughts that you don't want to unload, and you shouldn't unload on
everyone,
on your loved ones. Let's go to the topic of marriage or relationship therapy. You don't always need that in your relationship. But when you get to a point in your relationship, like most relationships do, where your conversation isn't getting to a point to get you through certain rough patches, and you're having thoughts like, do I love my husband? Mm-hmm. Do I? it might not be the healthiest to always bombard your partner with these things if they're just intrusive thoughts that you don't know and you're working through yet. That's where the marriage counselor and therapist comes in.
Yeah, I think like you don't always need a therapist when you're in crisis. Sometimes I've met people who have a therapist just because they can afford one and they just want to have someone to talk to. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Have somebody just to talk to.
Yeah, so that was real quick, but I feel like we got the gist of it through. So you agree. Mm-hmm. We can all benefit from therapy, but we do not all need a therapist. That was short and sweet because we fucking had y'all with a lot of heavy shit with George Floyd today. So rest in peace to George Floyd. Hopefully that Derek nigga gets jail time.
I don't care about him shit.
And that's that. Content of the week. You got anything? Because the computer's about to die.
Been watching The Wire.
All right, The Wire. And we're not gonna have any music today because this is a bland week. But please go outside, get some sun. Please enjoy your life. You win by continuing to live. Peace out, guys. I'm about to go skateboard.